What is going on, you beautiful people? Dude just here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Today, we're going to be looking at a wild, lively game that was neck and neck between two top-level players. So this game took place on the map Playing It Cool, currently in the Live League rotation. Very interesting map. This is basically your stereotypical base rush map. Just look at this map. You have two bases at the top versus one base over here. Pretty straightforward. What also makes this a base rush map? The middle. A lot of forests, kind of cut off by this river here. Very difficult to front shift. If you want to have a base rush map, what you need to do is have a 2-for-1, two bases versus one, and also make it incredibly hard to front shift and reinforce your weak side from your strong side. When you have that, you're cut off, you're on your own. This base is basically cut off on its own. One base versus two base. There is some help though. You have this very strong, sexy airport over here, centralized. In 2 turns, it can fight anywhere on the map. You move to the middle, you can fight on your weak side. You can fight on your strong side. This airport is phenomenal. I might even consider rushing this airport first because copters are really dang good because there's so many forests on this map. Like I said, hard to front shift in the middle. A lot of forests. These river tiles are quite pesky. There's some mountains that might get in the way as well. A lot of forests blocking the bases on this map. That you might notice that. A lot of forests blocking bases. So air units are going to be overpowered, especially with this beautiful forward airport. This is a medium, I would consider this a low income map. It's 20K per side with 4 airports and 6 bases total. However, this back airport in base or in city, you typically don't go for it in the higher levels. Why? Because in a base rush scenario, you need to have all hands on deck. You can't have time to build a T-copter. You're going to need that 5K to tech up to a medium tank, to buy an artillery, to buy an extra copter. You don't really have that much time and the luxury of time to go for this back base or this back 2 properties over here. So instead of 20K per side, usually it resolves to more 18K per side. And then there's the contested properties. So you might not even have 18K, maybe have 16, 17K. So the brawly COs, the Maxes of the world, the Javiers, the Von Bolts, the Kindles love this map. They're going crazy over this map. Also, this airport back here, it doesn't give you anything extra. This airport is just better in every single way possible. In 2 turns, it can fight over here anyway. This does not offer very much at all. In this back base, so most of the time I see they're grayed out the entirety of the game, these back properties over there. So it's in actuality, don't always read the statistics at the beginning of the game and believe that is the income. Look at the map yourself and decide. So we have the Hawk versus Javier matchup here. This is a tier 1 matchup. Von Bolt was banned because of the low income and the base rush scenario. I love the Javier pick here. Why do I love the Javier pick here? Well, Von Bolt's banned. I would have picked Von Bolt first. Javier thrives in base rush scenarios. Why? The indirect defense. He can rush his opponent with an artillery. Put an artillery here. Put an artillery here. Base lock the opponent. Okay, well, the opponent will try to base lock you with an artillery. But Javier, extra 20% indirect defense. Stack that with the comm tower. 30% defense. Stack that with on a property with an extra 30% defense. That's 60% defense towards indirects. 50% on forest, 40% on plains, etc. Then you have the CO power, which basically makes you invincible to indirect fire. And then if you really want to go overboard, you have the super CO power, and then things are doing 0 damage to you. Indirects do 0 damage to you, regardless of where you are. Maybe on a road, it does like 5%. But you're basically invincible. Hawk here, I don't like Hawk as much because it's lower income. Hawk wants higher income. Hawk wants a more stally map. Base rushes, I'm leaning towards Sasha and Javier in this sort of matchup right here. It screams brawly to me. Hawk, he's my favorite CO, don't get me wrong, but I don't see his viability here quite as strong. So I think that Scourgewalker is going from a bit of an underdog in terms of the CO matchup. So I think Surthgive shows the better CO here. So let's talk about the players real quick. Surthgive is currently Live League #1. He has beaten Poland countless times. He hasn't beaten me yet, but he's ahead of me. He is #1. He's gotten ahead of me in Poland in the Live League rankings. He is the clear #1 in terms of rating right now. So props to him. He's a newcomer. I made a video of his old video like 3 years ago when he was kind of like a noob, and just now look at him. So if you think you're not very good, you're an 1,000 level player. This guy came back 3 years later, and now he's like a 1,700 level player. In Global League. Live League is 1,500, which is the equivalent like 1,700 Global League. So Things do happen. People do improve. His opponent, Scourge Walker, you've seen a video probably of him versus Poland. He played incredibly well with Sammy, positioning artillery. Scourge Walker, I mean, that name just sounds a little too intense for me. It's definitely an alt. Honestly, if I had a kid and their gamer tag was Scourge Walker, I'm like, get in the minivan, you're going to therapy. In fact, maybe electric shock therapy. Getting a lobotomy. Something's wrong with you, kid. So Scourge Walker, weird name, strong player, very positional player. Some Smurf, I don't know who it is to this day. I thought it was Starflash. It might be Dead FS. Not Dead FS. It might be Darth Noob. Who knows? But they're an alt and they're good. That's all I can say. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the game. So in the left side, in the black hole, we have Scourge Walker as Hawk. And did I say left side? In the left side as Javier, we have Surthgive as Greenies. So first things first, you go for the easy bases. When it's a base rush map, you want the income as soon as possible. You do not want to miss out on your tank chains. You don't want to get too greedy. Although this infantry, I might consider skipping the port and going for the copter, early copter over here. Let's see if he does do that. This looks like a contested property, but usually this is going to fall under Black's control over here. This is a little ambitious. I'm assuming this is just posturing, and he's going to go for this property over here. The middle properties are a little more contested, so you want to get this early, and maybe you can lock down his over here with an artillery here, or likewise on the top. So let's see what they go for. Recon's not so good here because of all the ample forests. So as you can see, not going for this property, either one. Very doubtful that green goes for this property. Instead, going for the normal builds. Builds the first artillery, already putting on the pressure. We'll have to base skip next turn in order to build a vehicle. So the first artillery could have built a tank, has 1k left. Interesting. Honestly, I love the artillery here, but I might actually go for a tank just for the flexibility. Because if I build an artillery, I'm basically making a beeline going for the base. But what if I want to fight in the middle? Tank, front shift middle. Tank, go straight forward. Very rarely do I open with artillery. Usually I open with tank, then artillery is my second vehicle. Also, the tank can serve as like clearing the way for an artillery, like a snow plow. Plowing out all the shit in the way, then your artillery can make a beeline. With an artillery, what if the opponent's tank just comes and smacks you? You have nothing to block against that. So I like a little snow plow to start plowing through. Neither of them going for the early airport. That makes me sad. That makes me depressed. I need to go to the same therapist as Scourge Walker. I need a lobotomy. It's the 1960s. We all need lobotomies. Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting. This I would not normally do, even without the comm tower. Very aggressive play. By the way, Surthgive is kind of from the Poland thought club. That's not what I was trying to say, but he thinks the same way as Poland. He's very aggressive. He does not heal units. He just throws them into the meat grinder. He will interrupt you with a 3 HP tank on a 10 HP infantry and get killed by a tank. He won't go back and let you have that property. He takes being behind in property count personally. A little too personally, maybe. So he's from the Poland school of thought. Okay, we have an artillery at the bottom. I mean, you're playing. So if I was Hawk here, I would rush this shit, get a copter, and go for the middle. Try to win 3 of these 4. And then try to just go for like a push for the HQ perhaps, or push back on the weak side over here, bring the copters up here. You want to stall this out. You're not going for a base rush as hard as Javier is, so I'd take the early copter, win the middle, and then push back at the top long enough to get my superpower, and then go to town. You spanking that boy. But he also seems to be going for the base rush kind of allure on this map, which is okay, but versus Javier, it's going to be more difficult. Remember, the extra 20% defense. It's going to be harder to crack that nut. And let me tell you, Surthgive is a nutty boy. He's a hard nut to crack. So we'll see how he does, especially if you attack from this silo over here. 30% defense, 20% from the indirect firepower, another 10%, that's 60% defense, all in all. We'll see if this becomes a contested property, though. So the tank is a little passive. Couldn't start a strike over here because the tank will spank you, so it's okay. Going for a defensive artillery, very interesting. Spamming artillery versus Javier. I might have gone for a mech here or another tank. But desperate times call for desperate measures. I like this. I like this as Surthgive. It's not all about going for a beeline here. It's about pressuring the middle as well. Bringing a mech forward. I kind of like the mech here as well. Mech on the strong side. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 turns is already relevant. Usually for mechs, it takes you like 7 or 8 turns. 4 turns and you're relevant. 5 turns, you're on the base. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Builds another mech, just as I say that. Read my mind. Or maybe I read his mind because this game happened before I was casting. Ooh. So Hawk, not much pressure over here. Very defensive. Just going for this property. It's like, please don't interrupt me. I only have artillery here. I mean, this infantry can strike the artillery if it wants. This infantry can attack. This infantry can attack. This infantry can strike the artillery if he so chooses. Oh my goodness. They got the proliferation of artillery versus Javier. This is what Surthgib dreamed about before the game happened. And I mean, this is on whatever the hell for Scourge. I'm at a loss for words today, apparently. This is on brand for Scourge Walker. He built a ton of artillery, didn't build really many tanks at all versus Poland. He went artillery and he went mechs. And he seems to be just an artillery lover in general. Maybe you should change his gamer tag from Scourge Walker to like Artillery Lover 17 or something like that. That's pretty catchy. That's a cool name. Look at this. This is 500 damage. I mean, 5 damage, 500 funds. Woohoo. Only need to do 11 more to make up for yourself for the cost of it. So interesting. So you got to interrupt that, I would assume, and he will. But Scourge Walker desperately needs to find some sort of advantage here. Or to stall it out. He needs to stall it out. Actually, I shouldn't say he's searching for an advantage. He needs to prevent this from happening and interrupt that. And somehow capture that himself. Equal income, Scourge Walker's happy. Equal income. You're golden as Hawk. I mean, you're on low income map. You'd love to have more income. And he's not looking like he's going to get this property because Surthgib's going to lock it down. So instead of having 20K, he's not even going to have 18. He's going to have like 17 or 16K, which is terrible for Hawk. Hawk wants the big bucks. Hawk wants those big bucks. And I mean, the HQ is a little bit scary over here. I don't think an HQ cap is really that realistic due to the forward airport. I'm saddened to see no copters yet. I mean, is it possible? No, he couldn't have built it last turn. But let's see if Surthgib builds a copter. I mean, he's probably going to build 2 tanks here, honestly. But I'd love a copter right here. They're just so good. And I would have rushed that shit so much earlier. I'm a copter boy. And it looks like Surthgib is not going to be capturing that property. The artillery's... Okay. This is going to be... I mean, you build too many artillery. This is falling into Hawk's hand a bit because proliferation of more units, higher income, or higher unit value. When the Black Storm hits, it's knocking off 20%. If you have 200,000 worth of units, 20% is a lot harder than when you have 60,000 worth of unit value. So... Feisty over here, probably going to bring this artillery up behind it, perhaps on this forest or this forest. Yep, double artillery, but they don't do much, folks. They don't do much. I mean, Surthgib really had the CO advantage in this map. Really chose the better CO here. So let's see if he can capitalize that. Or Mr. Scourge Walker, the resourceful man he is, or woman, or furry, has a sort of answer. Okay, good. I like this. Good job, Scourgy. We love the copters. Yay. Everyone's a winner. Kills off going for the contested property with the double artillery. Ooh, ooh, ooh. In my games I play, I always get this property. My opponent always gets this property. This is very interesting. Both of them fighting pretty hard back on their weak side. Oh, you would like to see that kill. But it looks like he will not be getting this property. Cannot combine this turn. Probably going to just retreat, honestly. There's too many units right here. But this artillery is well placed on the HQ. It's basically invincible to the other artillery. You got 40% defense. You got the additional 30% defense. That's 70% defense from indirects. And he's got no tanks to reach it anyway. So those artilleries are really well placed. So no one's getting this property seemingly. And no one's getting this property seemingly. Until maybe green pops a CO power and then becomes invincible. Essentially. Finally, the copters are in. I can die a happy man now. I can die a happy man. Front shifts a little bit of the artillery. Honestly, probably stop building artillery. Maybe just spam copters now, or you tech up to a medium tank on your strong side. It's hard to tech up here because there's so many artilleries. Just spam out units. You want quantity over quality probably versus artillery spam. When your opponent's spamming artillery, it's often better to get quantity over quality because Hey, if you fight a Neo tank to kill this tank here, you're getting blasted by 2 artillery. You're doing like 6,000 in damages, and then your Neo tank's gonna be knocked down to like 2 HP. So you're gonna have like 18,000 in damages to yourself. So not ideal. Looks like this property is never getting capped. So Surthgive has a 1k income advantage. As Hawk, not loving that, but it's not the end of the world. It's 1k. It's not that bad, but on a 16 to 7 or in 15k incomes, that matters a lot more. At this point, it's starting to stall a little bit. So I might even consider a T-Copter here as Hawk. I might even consider a T-Copter. It's starting to stall. There's no threat towards your base right now. When there's no threat, that's the time to go for the Boomy build. I feel like, and then when you have a lot more unit value, 5k doesn't matter as much when you have a lot more units on the board. When you have 2 tanks versus 1 tank, and you have an T-Copter, it's going to be glaringly obvious that your opponent should attack you. However, if you have 14 tanks and your opponent has 15 tanks, a T-Copter is not going to hurt you quite as much. And the pressure is coming, so maybe now's the time. Move the copter over here on the shoal, perhaps. Build a T-Copter, get the 2 extra K income. 17k? Now we're talking. 17k. I might build a T-Copter here as Hawk, honestly. Whoa, buddy. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming. That's not going to 2-hit KO. It's not going to happen. That seems a little reckless. This is not the Scourge Walker I know and love. His new meds are impacting him. Or maybe it's the lobotomy. Still has the ice pick between his eyes. Sorry for that visual. And for you guys that don't know what a lobotomy is, I'm sorry for introducing you. But he's going all in on the weak side over here. His opponent's weak side, I should say. And he builds in mech. I love it. So I was just about to say, is Green going to shift everything and mirror this? Or is he going to go down to defend? If I'm Surthgive, I'm going for the mirror. Why? Because if I go down and defend, it's going to stall out. You know, it's going to play into Hawk's hand. However, if you flip back to the base rush scenario, Javier excels there. I would love to see him go there, but nope, he's going to the bottom. Honestly, this is such a good engagement, though. Like, go for that. Although I would have attacked with the copter first rather than the tank. This seems a little silly. Getting some really good engagements, so I can't really blame the front shift down towards your weak side. Goes for a tower shield. These are basically invincible now. He can probably damage the tank on the road. I don't know about the one on the plains. Yeah, look at this. You have tower shield. This is how bold he can be. Dude. But this is the power spike for Javier. It's not going to get any better for Javier. Hawk is waiting. He's waiting. He's baiting. I don't know what kind of baiting, but he's baiting. He's debating. There you go. That's wholesome. Tank gonna run away. I mean, you can't really fight into this. I feel like you just run. Like, this is just not fightable. You're gonna do like no going in. 3 damage. 4 damage. Okay. 3 damage to an infantry on a shoal. I can only imagine how much you do to the other units. Okay, copter is going to go to 5 maybe. Yep, 5, 6. Oh. 1 damage, 2 damage. Okay, actually it's more than I thought. I thought it wouldn't even do 1 damage at 9 HP. But even these mechs are scary at the top. He doesn't even have any vehicles, and this base is already at threat being lost. Looks like he's going for every single engagement possible to get a power. Is he stretching for a power? I don't know if he needs to use it this turn though, but he is choosing to use it. I might have held off a little bit longer, but it will give him extra defense and it will heal up his units. Like this copter engagement now is looking a lot much better. Okay. I don't hate it. And it really does kind of nerf these infantry over here with the extra defense and the healed units. I don't know about this tank over here though. Like, this one seems a little out of place. This seemed like a stretch. There's another artillery here. There's a copter. Like, I don't like that. I don't like this attack. I would put it down here for like a follow-on. That seems a little reckless. But I guess he wanted the charge so badly. But yeah, that tank's going bye-bye. Too easy. That copter's going bye-bye or near it. Boom. Bang. Surthgive, looking pretty good. Survived the Black Storm. Never got to a Black Wave. Sorry. Survived the Black Wave. Never got to a Black Storm. Head 1k. Anti over here. Okay. Now that they don't have the power, 5 damage is not bad. 4 damage is not bad. Okay. Scourge Walker starting to break through now. Scourgy. The Scourge of the Earth. Breaking through. That's good for him. Attacks the copter. The copter chain is real. Wants to build another copter here. 18k? You know it, folks. 18k is two things. Medium tank, infantry, infantry. Or more commonly on low income maps, copter, tank, 2 infantry. 18k. Magic number. 18k is beautiful in several ways. 18k is the golden number. Anything below 18k, Max is going to crush you, Kindle's going to crush you. 18k is where the other COs start to have viability. That's where you can start thinking, maybe Eagle could work here. Maybe Olaf or something. Maybe. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying you at least can start considering them. Anything below 18k, it's a brawl fest, folks. So, green is getting unit count quite higher. I mean, he's got a lot of schlop, though. Look at this 1 HP infantry in the top over here. Massacres that poor little boy on the shoal. He thought he was doing a little D-Day reenactment. No, not even close. There's no one to even support him. He just died like a dog. Died like a dog, woofed like a dog. So, green, okay, this is kind of drawing out over here. I think this is drawing out. And then this anti-air will be able to reach. Unless the power is popped. But even if the power popped, you're still going to reach with the anti-air. So you will kill the copter. The anti-air will die to the to the artillery, at least. This is not looking too bad for Scourgewalker. I mean, Surthgive ended the turn pretty equal in unit value. So Scourgewalker's looking pretty good. And Surthgive is low on time. So Surthgive has the income advantage. He's got the better CO and the more units. But Scourgewalker, not looking too bad, honestly. Not looking too bad. Decides to bring the copter over to the top. There's a bunch of infantry. Honestly, like, build a recon or something. Like, I don't know about moving the copter. You kind of need that for the brawl over here. I mean, I guess there's an anti-air. Okay. Okay. And this tank is coming, maybe. But I would maybe put it, like, here so you have some flexibility. At least this seems like a hard commit to the top. Anti-air? What are you getting? What? Don't like the I would have built a recon, guys. And maybe a tank and a mech next turn to back up the recon. Then you can save the big bucks for down here where they matter a lot more. And you got to build that T-copter, buddy. You got to build that T-copter. When you're ahead like this, you got to build the T-copter. Use the advantage while you have it. Here comes the tower shield. That means a big boy attack's coming in. And he's probably going to try to capture this property. Oh, not just that property. Multiple properties. Multiple properties. Whoopsie. That property too? I mean, it's going to take him 2 more turns, so he's not capturing this turn. Will he use a black wave? My question is, will Scourgewalker use another black wave, or will he wait for a black storm? I'm the patient kind of boy. Oof. That is like nothing. Does the anti-air even damage it? Probably would attack the anti-air. 1 damage. Okay. He does use the black wave. Well, it stops this cap at least. Okay. This will die to the anti-air. Okay. Yeah, kill this. I mean, okay. I don't hate it. Built a tank. I feel like he's spending too many resources up to the top. I don't like how he spent for this anti. He could have done that with a recon. He could do this with a mech. Then he could start spending a lot more resources down here and win this battle. I don't really like the resource allocation for Scourgewalker so far. Seems a little questionable. Another tower shield. 2 tower shields in a row. And no tech ups. If I'm Surthgive, I'd think about a tech up here, honestly. You have the income advantage. I'd build a medium tank. And then how does Scourgewalker kill a medium tank? Artillery are going to do like 1 damage to it. Unless it's on a road, maybe 2. Mechs aren't going to do anything. Tanks aren't going to do anything. You have an anti-air for the copters. This game could be over. Your Surthgive just builds a medium tank. But I digress. It's a live game. That's what I would do. When you're in a live game, you don't know what the hell's going on. Your mind's going bananas. You have no idea what's going on. Everything's a blur. That's what they're thinking right there. That's how they're acting. Maybe that's the side effect of the lobotomy. I'm gonna stop making lobotomy jokes. They weren't funny the first time. Or maybe they were. Maybe you guys liked him. This seems a little reckless. I mean, could he have knocked him below 7 here without it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he had to sacrifice the copter because you're probably not getting that back. Even though it's very close to the base, you're probably not getting that back just because you need units to fight, like tanks and whatnot. You don't really have infantry to spare. And then green will just target all your infantry with his own infantry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. He's not going for power. I was like, what the heck is going on? Has to back up over here. Okay, now green can go for this property. Surthgiv's looking good, folks. He's looking good. He's front shifting at the top, or the middle, excuse me. He's not taking up. He's not taking up. He will lose all these infantry at the top, though. So it's going to be a massacre. Dead. 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 Ooh. Okay, okay. Maybe Mr. Scourge can sneak that. Still no attack ups for Surthgiv. I'm Surthgiv. Dude, you have 18k. You gotta be building a medium tank, man. You gotta be building a medium tank here. Like, there's no excuse. Please. For the love of all this decent. So that was a nice little fake. I'm gonna go to the middle. No, actually I'm not. Actually, he did what he needed to do. He went to the middle to capture this property, and he did. 2k income advantage. That's pretty huge, actually. I like that move by Surthgiv. I underestimated it. Smart move. Went to where he needed to go for a mission, accomplished the mission, came the hell back. Didn't overstay. And Scourgy's nowhere close to capturing this property. He's got no infantry in range for a long time. So he needs some play here. He needs to somehow get play here. He probably wants to build an infantry here so he can, like, capture and then combine. Ooh, this seems a little feisty here. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, doesn't reach the copter. Huh. Okay. But that means you're going to get blasted to smithereens down here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that middle attack. I feel like you're getting a lot of copter hits. Not getting that, like, that cap at the bottom was doomed to fail once you shift everything to the middle too. And this tank is out of range of the artillery too, so it's just like an easy hit. You got so many damn copters, like... Luckily, there's no power active, so at least green will be able to, or black will be able to do some damage here. Still no medium tank. Sad. Ooh, free hit. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice find by Surth, or by Scourgy. Boom, finish it off. Okay, he's attacking that one. Okay. He's going to have to wait for another Hawk power. At this point, once you've gone for 2 Hawk powers, you're not going for 2 power again. Like, it's too much charge. You're going to wait for another power. It's going to be spamming powers the whole game. I have mixed feelings about that. Tank at the top? Okay. I mean, good. Yeah, it covers. Boom. Bang. This is still, like, stalling out, but at the same time, it's fighting stalling. You mean, no one's really making any ground, but they're fighting stalling. Except green did get this property, so he's making slight ground. This is really back and forth. That's all I'll say. Really back and forth. Constant brawling. There you have it. How will Girthwalker, how will he respond to this? I'm curious. Imagine he had this 5 days earlier. What does Scourgewalker do? Does he save up for his own? I mean, he's got 20k. I guess you got to tech up yourself. That's the only answer I can think of. Maybe combine some like copters or something, and then you build, like, combine this full HP copter with this, and then build a Neo tank. But then you put this behind it. It's really tricky. Especially, what if the Neo tank attacks something, then you pop tower power or whatever, and then your own medium tank or Neo tank can only do 2 damage to it. What do? Attacking Feisty, the Feistmeister himself. Ooh, you might get this. He might get this, but at the cost of his whole army. I mean, this is not bad positioning, though, actually. This is pretty complex, but it's at a very bad time. It's at a very bad time, though. The power is coming. Ooh, yeah, he's going to kill at least 2 copters or weaken them significantly. Okay. Yeah, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt bad. You're running out of time. They're both on increment. Don't forget about the shoal here. Can just go right through. Not that these will do any damage to you anyway. Boom. Well, that's a one-shot? Whoa. Today I learned. Boom. Not even going for that copter kill there. He's probably going to use a copter to weaken it. What? Huh. Okay, copter on copter violence. Oh, sacks the copter. Ooh, good find. What a Feistmeister. And that's good. You want to get rid of those extra Schlopsters anyway, because they're going to just be nothing after the CO power from Hawk anyway. Ooh, good finds. Really, really well played by Surthgive in this finding all these things on the live, on increment. Hello. That's why he's number one, folks. That was impressive. That's not how I would have done it live. Mine might have probably been a little worse. Maybe better, but probably worse. Let's not kid ourselves. That was, whew. Scourge will have close to a superpower. Will it be? He got the property. Black Wave, okay. He's healing the Schlop. He's healing the Schlop. Could go with this property. Okay. He doesn't have anything for the medium tank. He has zero answer with the medium tank. He needs his own medium tank. Like, he's got nothing. Still no answer for the medium tank. That medium tank's going to go to town, folks. Town. Pound town. Pound town. And he's just like, cool. I'm not going to bother attacking on my strong side. I'm doing all the damage I need at the bottom. I got the middle. You don't. Aha. All right, Scourge, what you got? Nothing for the medium tank, that's for sure. He's just ignoring it. He's like, okay. Medium tank can't hurt me. He's about to lose that copter. This might be a brutal turn. This might be a brutal turn. He's going to murder that copter. Okay. Can't quite break through all the way, though. Oh, maybe he can. Oh, he can. Sorry, excuse me. I didn't see that infantry be able to reach like that. Very impressive. Unit count starting to stack up. Surthgive cannot allow this property. Then they'll be even. Remember what I said. Hawk wants even when it comes to income because of his powers are stronger. Copter comes in. Still nothing for that medium tank. It's just going to get a free hit. It's paying for itself every single turn. It's paying for itself every single turn. There's no answer. Tower shield again. It's brutal. That thing doesn't let up. Just invincible. Boom. Breaking through. Attacking other artillery. They're all invincible from this. Like, these aren't going to do anything. Only one attack. That tank. This anti-air doesn't reach shit. This copter doesn't reach shit. The only attack is this tank. This won't do anything. None of these. There's no counter. Oh, perfect timing. There was zero counterattack to that. Zero. And Surthgive hasn't even built his units yet. That was a knockout punch. That's a round 8 knockout punch right there. I mean, they were fighting for a while. Boom, 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 boom. Surthgive had like a strong, slightly good advantage. There was a snowballing. Gets slightly better and slightly better. Then just bam at the end. Finishes him off. Pretty impressive. I was impressed by a lot of those wall breaks. Scourge Walker, I think he had good tactics, but his macro, man, too many artillery versus Javier. Not enough early copters. Never teched up. When you see a medium tank, that your only answer can be a medium tank or a neo tank. I wouldn't even build a bomber here. I wouldn't consider it. I would consider a medium tank or a neo tank. Building more artillery is not going to cut it. Impressive, though. And, I mean, he could have tried to Hail Mary trying to capture that. You'd have to make a corridor towards the bottom. That's probably too tall a task, but that was uncaptured for the longest time. Surthgive did a great job of denying this for like 20 turns-ish. Very impressive on his end. And this as well. Surthgive, very, very aggressive player. And also this property. Whew, how would he stop that? You'd have to use the tank or the copter. Yeah, just knocked him out at the end turn. But very impressive. As you can see, great properties. Honestly, this is one of the games where it started to stall out a little bit. There was no pressure over here. I would have gone for this. Then you can start pumping out medium tanks every turn as Scourge Walker. 5K investment when things are starting to stall a little bit. I would have done it. But both players played phenomenally. Very well played. Hope you guys learned something from this game. Hope you guys were entertained, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.